my god, who does this for fun? Seriously. Oh, Lord. This is not good for my back. Oh my god. So I think like 3 sit-ups is my limit. I hate exercise. It makes me feel so fat. Such I just hate it. Nothing about my weight. I just don't like it. It's Tuesday. I'm the Tuesday Pear, and we have to talk about sports this week because Danny is a douche bag. Ha! So this week is the week about sports, and because of that, I'm wearing my my Vintage International School Leopards jersey because that's the sports house I was in for all like the sports days and everything. Back when I cared about sports as a child, and I didn't really care so much about sports as just proving that leopards kick lion and cheetah ass because we are better. It's not our fault. We're just better, you know? Emma likes to think that I hate football. I find football really boring a lot of times. My dad watched a lot of it as a kid and it'd be like, I want to watch anything else because this is dull. And it's like, I don't know, I'm not really into like a league football just because it's like, oh, who cares? I don't have a team. I kind of contrarily support like Chelsea just to annoy people because I feel like a lot of the guys in my family are all like, no, Man United or Liverpool or something that isn't Chelsea, and they get all touchy with me and stuff. But I do like World Cups actually. Like I was in Germany for the last World Cup, like for part of it. Like I didn't go to any matches, but like just the atmosphere was amazing. And I like national games just because it's like, you know, you can root for people who matter. However, of course, the current World Cup Ireland is not in, and we're not very good at football, I guess. But this time we were actually robbed horribly by the French. So right now I'm in the middle of watching the South Africa versus France match, which will determine who goes through. And South Africa is kind of handing France its ass because France sucks. I may love the French language and kind of want to live in France at some point, but my country cares about this. I mean, we could have been in the World Cup, and like we're not great, but we could have been in the World Cup, and they took that away from us for stupid reasons. So, you know, it's just proof that you shouldn't mess with the luck of the Irish, because if you do, it'll bite you in the ass. You screwed with us, and now your luck's changed. Coincidence? I personally think not, but you know, people are entitled to other opinions, I guess. I mean, also I'm just really excited. I'd love for South Africa to go through because that would just be so exciting for them, and like they're the host country. And I think that they could do. And it's an exciting match. Like this World Cup, Emma talked about it being exciting. This has been a really dull World Cup. Did you watch that? I think it was Algeria v England match. The most boring thing that has happened to television in a long time. Like it was terrible. England's playing so badly. But I don't know, it's kind of, I think it's interesting that a lot of the sort of favorites or good teams aren't playing that well, so it's kind of, or the ones that like to think of themselves as favorites or the ones that we usually go through to a certain point aren't doing that well, so it's just going to be interesting, I hope. So it's hotting up. It might be an interesting World Cup yet, and you know, go South Africa. Oh god, I'd love to be in Cape Town, or like, well anywhere in South Africa, but particularly Cape Town right now. Go Bafana Bafana! Yeah, so South Africa won, but not by enough, so they're not going through. It's very sad. Stupid France. But they did lose and go home, and they are like completely just embarrassed and ashamed. And maybe I shouldn't be this petty, but that makes me feel better. Oh, Bafana, I'm sorry. Soccer's not the only sport that I watch, although soccer is pretty much the only one I watch under duress. I prefer actually watching like rugby, and I find tennis fun to watch. And gymnastics, I love the Olympic gymnastics, mostly the women's, but gymnastics I find really interesting to watch, and those are kind of the ones that I guess I watch. I'm trying to think of something else. No, not really. Sports I did when I was younger, I did gymnastics for a while. I wasn't very good, and I didn't like compete or anything, but I did gymnastics and I really enjoyed it. I feel like there was volleyball somewhere. No, not well, netball, rounders. I really liked rounders. I swam. Oh, I used to swim, but I never really competed. I don't have a competitive drive. And Emma talked about teams, and I don't know, to me the idea of being on a team is so horrific because I'm not great at sports either, and I now have the potential to not only bring myself misery and shame with my lack of sporting ability, but to upset others. And I'm just like, oh god, no. Plus, team dynamics are just like beyond me. Like, I don't know, it just seems too much stress or whatever. So I never was all that interested in being on a team. Oh! Okay, so I was talking about football a lot earlier, and I don't really like watching football on TV that much. That said, the match the other day was really exciting. Like, a good match can be alright to watch, especially if you care about the outcome. But the problem, I guess, for me is that I mostly don't care about the outcome, so it's very hard to then care about the match. But I went to a live match because my sort of home from home at the moment is Norwich, and we have a football team called the Canaries. And I went to a match in which we absolutely destroyed Bristol, and it was fantastic. And I think it's like, I kind of understand it better now, like having been to a live match, it's much more exciting. And I think maybe that's why I prefer rugby, because I have been to like rugby matches, like two of my schools that I went to in Ireland had rugby teams. So like, if you signed up to be a supporter, you got off class, which is my initial reason to go. And then it was like, I don't know, just remember people, you know, explaining to me all the cheering and just like getting all like, ah, go on, and you know, it was just a lot more exciting than, you know, anything else. I think maybe that's the other reason I enjoy rugby, because it's like, I don't ever really watch league games. I almost always watch like Six Nations or one of those like international cups, so it's like I'm always rooting for home. I'm always like, go Ireland, and I'm just really passionate about that, which is bizarre because I'm not all that patriotic. Except when it comes to things like this where I'm like, Ireland should be in the World Cup because we're fantastic. We're not. But we're actually good at rugby too, so it's also, there's that, you know, you can really root for us and like we might go somewhere. And I think we've won a couple of those. God, I should really remember my facts about rugby if I'm going to pretend to be a fan of it. But, you know, I think it's like we really have like been pretty good at rugby, so. Plus, I mean, my commuter route to school used to go right past the rugby stadium, so I have reason to care about that. I kind of feel like I should know more about Irish sports because I don't know anything about hurling or Gaelic football. I don't understand the rules. I don't root for my county. I mean, if counties are playing and my county's on there, I'm not going to be all like, go Meath versus go Kildare because I'm from Kildare, but I don't understand them at all. I never played them. I don't know anyone who, well, that's what I'm probably doing, people who did. But I don't understand them, and I kind of wish I cared enough about sports to have wanted to do that when I was younger, because I feel like it's probably too late now. Yeah, sport, fun times. Ugh. I think this is particularly hard because my feet won't stay on the ground. I just hate exercise. Makes me so sleepy. Fine, vengeance is yours, Danny, but I have another turn coming up, and politics isn't the only annoying thing I can talk about. As to being old and bringing everyone down with me, not gonna dignify it with a response.